Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Vande Guru Parampara. Om Sakana Vavatu Sakana Punattu Sakaviryam Karavavakai Tejas Vinamadidamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharya Nachiketayasa. Namaskaram. So we are entering into the second chapter of Kathopanishad. First chapter, we have the first Valli with 29 verses, 29 mantras. We have seen through 9 classes. In couple of lines, the first Valli provided the context of it. The context is a young son, Nachiketas, is offering himself to his father, Gautama, who was doing a Visvajit Yajna, in which he gives away everything with the view to attain Swarga. His goal is to attain Swarga. That's his goal. In that, he was offering old cows as a part of the dhanam. Compelled by the inadequacy of the dhanam, Nachiketas stepped forward and tells his father, please don't give this useless cows. Maybe I am useful. Give me away. And the father said, in anger, I give you to death. So the story started like that. And then he went after his father to prove his word that since you said you will give me to death, you have to fulfill that. Normally, when you say a word, you have to fulfill it. And in Bharatakalam, if you say a word, you must fulfill it. So the father reluctantly agrees. With the father's permission, he's gone to the Lord of Death. And you know the story. And Yama had made him wait for 3 nights. Therefore, he offers 3 boons. And then the Nachiketas asked those boons. The first boon to make his father happy, guilt-free, and receives him as a Mrityunjaya. The second boon he asked for the proper way to do this karmas, karmopachanam, which is called Nachiketa Agni. And then he demonstrates to Lord of Death that he can understand it by repeating that. And even today, the Nachiketa Agni is a great yajnam you have to follow if you want to attain all this paraloka prapti. So he has done societal benefit to the second boon, a parental rinam to the first boon. Then the Yama asked, please go for the third boon. On the third boon, he asked, Lord of Death, please tell me, and there's a confusion in the world about the status of one after death. Do I exist after death or don't I exist? This is the question, and you are the best fellow to answer that. So baffled by that, Lord of Death said, hey child, this is not something you should ask for. This is very difficult to answer. Even the demigods are confused about it. So ask something else. And then Nachiketas goes back to him and says, look, The demigods cannot understand, and you know that, then this is more precious than anything else. I only want this. So he goes on giving, Yama goes on giving him other options. I give you this boon, money, dravyam, dhanam, dhanyam, pashuputra labham, dirghayushu, everything you want in this world. Or go to the next world, get Ramba, Urvashi, Tilottama serving you, chariots in the skies, uh, Kinnaras and Gandharvas serving you. What do you want? Don't ask this one. And he said, no, I only want this. So that is where the first chapter ended. So what Nachiketas asked, what is the knowledge that he wanted for? Why didn't Lord of Death did not give him immediately? This is the introductory commentary that we must know in the second chapter. The second chapter also got not many mantras, but Lord of Death is not going to answer him immediately. He's going to now talk about the glory of Atma Vidya, glory of Atma, glory of people going for that kind of a knowledge in the first 13 mantras. And you see the young Nachiketas interrupt him and say, look, if you keep on talking about it, you may not answer me, so please answer me. So he's going to refine this question. But there are a lot of knowledge comes in this. So if you summarize the whole of first chapter in one word, it is adhikaratvam, qualification, testing if the disciple, the seeker, has got the right qualification to acquire this knowledge. Bhagavan Bhashikara says, parikshaya, because the exam has been done. All these counter questions which Yama asked and counter offer he made is to test the will of Nachiketas. So the jnanam is going to impart is so precious that it requires a qualified student. Then we are discussing the same thing. Are we qualified? What is the exam? What is the test done for us? So I think about it. Well, I have not got that qualification yet, or at least nobody tested me, or I haven't got an opportunity to go to the guru who test me that. I'm not there yet. So in this learning, when this knowledge is spread, it is not like a guru who is nurturing in a well-fertilized pot a seed and watering it and nurturing it grow. That bond is may not be here, but it is like scattering the seeds on the garden. So I don't need to feel guilty. You don't need to feel guilty whether we have the testing and the qualification or not. As a student, we can be a fertile land, and what those teachers are dispersing may not be the nourishing, tendering, one-to-one Guru Sishya Parivartana. We will get the Bhagyam someday with some right gurus. But today we are coming with the open mind, and the seeds are falling, the knowledge is falling. So the discourse should be taken with that Shraddha. So when your heart melts, it is not rocky, it is soiled in a right fertilizers, right bhakti, devotion, Shraddha. Without you knowing it, this will germinate and sprout. So there is nothing to understand intellectually. The intellectual understanding is all about destroying ignorance. We need knowledge. We need to understand. But that understanding is not to gain something new. but to remove our ignorance. You understand? So this is not, you're not going to gain a knowledge about something. It appears to be that you gain the knowledge about something, but actually you have removed an ignorance about something. That is how we are going to go. So we are qualified. That's fine. And what is that knowledge that Nachiketa asked for? He asked a very simple question, right? Of course, the question doesn't come to our mind. What happens after death? It is not that I get up every day morning and start with this question, which I should, I don't. But therefore, if the question comes to somebody's mind, he is thinking beyond everything that he sees in this world. So what is that Vidya? So there are three types of knowledge. One is called Bauddha Vidya or Buddha Vidya. Vidya about all the Panchaputas or all the thing that is in the world. Everything that you study is Buddha Vidya because they made out of Panchaputas. Chemistry, physics, astronomy, cybernetics, IT, law. All that is about the world, Jagat, where you transact with objects. So knowledge is Buddha Vidya. Do we need that? Most certainly. Because you have to transact with the world. So that is the first thing. Then when we become spiritually inclined, we want to know a creator for everything must be there. And who is the creator? Who is the ruler? Who is the God? So you want to know about the God. So we go to the Shastras, and Shastras gives you so many ways, karma upasanas, and it's called a Ishvara Vidya. Knowing about the God. Theologies, you can say, there must be one God, 10 gods, formless God, form God, Rama, Krishna, Govinda. In so many ways, you see formation of a divine being first as a God, and you want to show your relationship to them. So definitely the Ishvara Vidya is superior to the Bauddha Vidya. Both are necessary. One is superior because it is going to give you this one. But there is a third Vidya. It's called Atma Vidya or Brahma Vidya. Atma Vidya is the much apt word right now to use. Atma Vidya is knowing who I am. Who am I really? No. Why should I know about it? And why is that knowledge more important than the other two? Is not God the most important? Okay, knowing about myself is more important. See, the world is important to me. Therefore, I must learn about the world. Physics, chemistry, whatever subjects I want to be proficient with, plumbing, building, electrical engineering. I have to learn because it gives me livelihood. Therefore, the Buddha Vidya is important because it relates to me. I don't read all the Buddha Vidya, I only take what is related to me. So what is important in my interest in learning Buddha Vidya? Me, myself. Ishvara Vidya. I want a God. I want to know about the God. Because God is what is punishing me, giving me boons. I want to please Him. How do I do that? I need to know about the Ishvara. For all my pursuits of learning in the spiritual ways, to do the satsang, do the japam, tapam, parayanam, is to remove my dukkham, get sukham, get God's grace on me. Again, what is the driving force there? My being. So if it is not me that is important on it, I don't need a God, I don't need the world. So if I am so important in my pursuits of material things and the spiritual thing, then who am I? Is the most profound one, is it not? And this is the knowledge we never seek. And this is where the Veda should start. The Brahmacharya, Vedanta should be taught first. I remember this. I will never forget this incident in my life. And I was maybe 7, 8 years old. There was a Ganapadikar, a Sastrigal, Vaidyanatha Ganapadikar, who was to be our family priest and a very knowledgeable man. And he knows everything and he has been very revered, um, greeted, garlanded by Mahaparivas, and such a wise man. Even when I was young, he was very old. In our village where we lived, when I was there at the time, um, there was a young sannyasi came, a Vedanti came, and he had a pravachana, a discourse on, I didn't understand what you were talking about. He was there. So he was giving some discourses for 3 or 4 days. And one day at my house, and the Ganapadikal came, and he was literally in tears when he was talking to my father. And he was saying, I have learned all the three Vedas, I do all this. I never had time to do Vedanta Vicharam. I never had time because my life has been spent, because that's one of the primary duties of these great souls, Mahatmas like these Purohitas, Veda Shastris. They have to first to be a human machine to record and reverberate Veda Shabdam. They have to do very difficult adhyayanam they must do to memorize all this in a purity so that they can pass it on to the lineage, because this one, once written, once skewed, once distorted, it loses away. Therefore, they sacrifice their entire life, just leading a simple life of just being reciting this. Of course, they don't need to do anything else, because by the mere recitation will give them all the knowledge, all the moksha for them. But then when you look at it, Laukikam, he says, look, I go and do all these things, all these karmas, I help everybody else, but I never had time to contemplate on the Artha Prasa. That much is important. Atma Vidya, Vedantam is that much important because it is showing who you really are. Because once you know it, then you will know that the real I in me is the Ishvara. So Jiveshvara Aikyam is known. That means the Atma Vidya is as good as Brahma Vidya. So Brahma Vidya is about Ishvara's truth. Atma is about self-truth. So this is what Nachiketa has asked. You see the profoundness of it. Okay? A simple question requires a profound. Why it is profound? It's not because it's intellectually difficult to comprehend. Bhagavan says, Ramana says, Ayye Adisulabham. So easy this is. It is so easy that we cannot see it because our seeing faculty is not able to see the seer. I cannot see internally. I can only see outside. My ears can only hear outside. Occasionally inside my stomach rumbling. My mind always sees outside. So to turn them all into inside, to see, you need a prayatana. Great effort you need that. And how do you do that? To do that, you need to really bring this harshness of your mind, the senses which are parading out there with intense speed, and you need to hold their reins and then turn them back. You can't force them. You can't force the mind to control. Like, if you take a stick, even a cow will run away from you. But if you take a grass, even a wild bull will come to you to eat. So you got to really make the mind to like something where it can come to you. It means you must see your mind different from yourself as your bull, as your cow. Then you must find the right piece of grass to show it to the mind. And then slowly, slowly it comes there. And then you tie it up in your mind. So that is why all the karma upasanas, all the nama japas, all the sankita upasanas, everything that you do is to bring layam to your mind, where this higher mind comes. A layam is all layam. It's a temple. So, and the sadhanas for that is all the karma yogas, all the japa tapas, everything. Now, having done that, and having the mind which sits and where you ask it to sit, then you are ready to listen to this. That's why here in this Vedanta Vicharam, your WhatsApp is away, your phones are away, your mind is not dribbling about anything else, worry is away. Even if you sit as a father, son, husband, wife, you sit yourself, you are individual. It is ekam shantam, alone, you are alone. Because Vedantam is actually going to make you feel happy within yourself. Can you be happy by yourself? No. I say to them, oh, nothing else there. Put the TV on, put the WhatsApp on, because you just cannot bear with you. See, if I cannot bear with myself, how can I be a good company to you? No, you want me to go with you for a picnic to have a good time? How can I be a good person to you if I cannot tolerate myself? So I must have the ability to feel happy with myself, the ability to be blissful with myself. And to do that, you must understand who you are. So that's why the Atma Vidya is a universal knowledge. Now you say, I have to give certain context before I jump into the sloka, because sloka is very simple. The context, if you understand, sloka becomes very trivial. Okay, now I understand the question. Who am I is an important question to ask. I don't understand what Bhagavan Ramana teaches me. I don't understand anything at all. This question is interesting. How do I go about doing this? If this question is relevant to you, if you think the question is, yeah, an interesting question, if you think like that, you have already arrived to the right point. Even though you have not the instruments of knowledge to unravel it, you are in the right track. The track should be dharma. See, dharma is the only thing which you have to live with. And dharma is a very loaded word. See, what we normally say dharma means, I am doing dharma. It means you say dhanam, I do dhanam. Dhanam is dharma. But if you think a little deeper, the literal meaning of dhanam or a conventional meaning of dhanam can be changed, can be understood as to punya. Dharmam talekakum. Dharmo dharma rakshitam. So the punyam has got a different name called dharma. So dharma is also punyam. So when you do dhanam, you get punyam. So when you do dharma, you get dharma. Understand? See, all understanding Vedanta means understanding the Vedanta paribhasha, language, words. The punyam means, punyam comes from what? From doing good things. Kayena vachi. So in your body, mind, and indriyas, if you do good things, you do punyam. And then what is this punyam for? See, if I am traveling from here to with all my property, cash, I have to go to say live in South Africa, and all the goods are not allowed. So what I have to do, I have to convert all my currency into South African currency, so that I can go and live there. Same way, if I need to convert all my earnings in this life to give me a better place in my next life, I need to convert all my results of my action into currency called punya. It's as simple as that. So if you have lots of bank balance, lot of equity, houses, properties, they are of no use because they are not coming with you to secure a place in the life after. So what do I have to do? Use those earnings I have, both physical and subtle earnings, to convert into punya. That means you do punya karyas, you attain dharma. So dharma comes there as well as a thing. So therefore it's about the action. So you do action, I do action, I go to work and I teach sometime, I learn sometime, I do some seva sometime, and you do the same thing. So you do what you need to do, I do what I need to do, my children do what they need to do. The school does what they do, the tree does what needs to do, the seasons does what needs to do. So everybody is doing what everybody has to do. It's called kartavyam. That is also dharma. You see how this word is so powerful when you take in a different context. A simple dhanam is dharma. Good deeds is dharma. Just your life is dharma. Kartavya karto. You have to do what you need to do. Then you are there. So if I say, if I take, I had to go to office at 9 o'clock and I should not use my personal phone there. I should not do my personal work. So these are the dharmas in my workplace. So when I do the karmas, my dharmas get the name of karma. Within the karma, I do what I need to do. So the dharmas change to karma. Fire is always hot and glowing. Water is always cool and flowing. Dharma. Their dharma is that. So everything follows the dharma. Now, if this dharma does not follow the way it's supposed to follow, there will be imbalance. So I do genetic engineering, I modify things. I make, for example, lemon to be always sweet. I modify the lemons. So I'm changing the nature of the lemon. So what I'm doing, I'm interrupting the kartavyam that is nature is prohibiting with my intellectual power. So I am upsetting the natural balance. So I am say Brahmin or Kshatriya or a Vaisya, whatever my karma is, I have to do that. If I'm not doing that, I am imbalancing it. So when it becomes imbalanced, adharmam comes in. Then you need a great incarnation like Bhagavan Krishna to come. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavan yuke. I need to come. So it's a major reshift focus. But if you maintain as they are, the world will continue to survive beautifully. So that is also dharma. Kartavya karta. So we have to think, am I doing every action as per my dharma? Like Nachiketas was doing his dharma. As a son, he must take care of his father's welfare. As a young boy in a society, he must contribute to society. As a brahmachari, he must understand Atma Jnana. So his pursuits were perfectly in the dharma. So dharma is fundamental for everything. Okay. Now, and if you take all the kartavya, everything does, so what? So seasons change, sun rotates, moon rotates, the whole universe is in a kind. It's called rhythm. In English, rhythm, in Sanskrit, rhythm. Rhythm means in olungu in Tamil, well ordered, as prescribed. So that is also dharma. So there's a dharma why the universe is as it is. So dharma, ritam vatishyami. Let me understand the dharma. Let me go with this one. Now, if in all this you see, dharma is providing a platform for your actions, kartatvam, bhoktitvam, your enjoyments, the jagat, the place, the context. So dharma is the adhara. But it is about the rhythm, about the changes. Again, it is not difficult to understand. What is a change? How can I define a change? Hey, you changed. I said, what do you mean? Oh, you look yesterday this way and today this way. So my change always requires your point of reference to come back. This is related. Therefore, the rhythm that which is change, here rhythm is dharma, it cannot exist. Change cannot happen without a subsistence of an adhar, a support for it. So what is that adharam should be? That which does not change. That is Satyam. So if rhythm is just a change, so if I say, rather you changed for yesterday, my rhythm has changed, but still it is I am. So my Satyam is seen to be changed. The rhythm is Satyam. Rhythm vadishyami, Satyam vadishyami. Let me understand the rhythm, let me Satyam. But these are all dharma. See? The dharma is everything. Now, if it is something which is adharam, support for everything else, is it not Ishvara? Parabrahma? Yes. Therefore, I have a name for Parabrahma, Satyam. But Satyam is Dharma. Yes, Parabrahma is Dharmatma. Paramatma is Dharmatma. Satyatma. Ishvara. So, which means, so far I've been discussing Dharma as an action, a context, a philosophy, a definition, but that is God. That means my action is God, or I do action in God. That means I am existing in God. God is not a Dura Shaptam. It's not some distant object. I am in God. Well, I don't know, but I am in the space. Therefore, space is what I can see. Therefore, God is space. Well, the space, I don't see space, but I can see caressing breeze touches me. I can't see it, but I can feel it. Therefore, the breeze is Ishvara. I can see the light, Ishvara. I can taste the water, Ishvara. Panjabhutas, Ishvara. You see, now you come back from the thing to the rhythm again. You understand? So Dharma is Ishvara. Dharma is Satyam. So Adharmam is something which disrupts this. So in our motto, in our principle, in our action, in our deeds, Dharmam is something which very narrow path it is, and we have to be there all the time. So this is what a qualification that you have to understand Atma Vidya. Now, all this sounds interesting, all common sense, but you put it differently, so I like it, you say. But what is all this process? This process is jnanam. So the jnanam is also dharma, therefore. But this is an application of the knowledge. But knowledge does, what the aim should be? To be the Satya. But therefore, can I say jnanam is therefore the knowledge of Satyam? When I say of something, the sixth vibhakti, pramasya, mind, it becomes an object. So it may look like jnanam is jnanam of the truth, or jnanam of Ishvara, or jnanam of Atma, but in reality, jnanam is Atma. Jnanam is Ishvara. Sat Chit Anandam is Ishvara. Sat means the eternal existence, Satyam. Chit means jnanam. Anandam is the blissful existence as Satchit. That means I don't need to do anything. Yes. I don't need to learn anything. Yes. I don't need a moksha. Yes. But when I know I am Satchit Anandam, so that is the answer to who I am. But I am not there yet. So what do I have to do? So Lord Yamadharma is going to say, in the context of dharma, you just have to know the two words. From the two words, you know what is your life is going to be. Okay? What are the two words? Preyas and Shreays. See, this is in Bhagavan, in Gita, talks about the Preyas and Grace. And he quotes very freely. In fact, verbatim, he quotes Ishopanishad and Kathopanishad. Because Bhagavan is none other than Yamadharma Raja, in chapter 10, he says, Mrityu sarvaharascha akam udbhavascha bhavishyami. I am coming, I am all devouring death, and I am the generator of all things. He's going to say that in Bhagavad Gita when you read the 10th chapter. So Bhagavan is Dharma Raja. Bhagavan is death. Before Kathopanishad, when Lord of Yama is teaching, the profound essence of Vedanta is what Bhagavan is, as Krishna, expands in so many ways to Arjuna and to the world. So Kathopanishad is Gita Charam, or Gita is Upanishad Charam. Upanishad Su, we say in Bhagavad Gita Prarthana, because it takes everything. So Preyas and Shreays. These two words you should know very well. What is Preyas? What is Shreays? This is going to be taught in the first 3 verses. Preyas means it comes from the root pre. Pre means preeti, priyam. You say priyate, pranati. That means you like it. What pleases your indriyas? What makes you? Sukham. Priti, prayas is sukham. So if you look at it, these two words as sadhyam and sadhanam. Sadhyam means what? That you attain. Sadhanam is the means to attain. Like Upanishad is the jnanam. Isavasya Upanishad book is the sadhana. We also call it as a Upanishad. Like a London Road in Harrow. The road is not London, but it's called London Road because it's leading to London. Maybe the prayers is the goal, Sukham is the whole goal, but the prayo marga, the way to go to prayers also called prayers. So I'll use these words in both ways, as a goal, as a means. So prayers means as a goal is to attain what pleases you. First class coffee in the morning, Kumbhakonam degree coffee in the morning. I want it. Because even thinking of it, my nose smells, I salivate. Praise. I want a beautiful wife, I want a beautiful house. Praise. Anything that you want to attain that makes you happy is praise. I want to go to Indra Padavi, praise. What about I coming to this class and listening to this lecture? It is spiritual stuff, right? Again, I give you this insight. Again, if you coming to the class and listen, any class like this, Vedanta class, it's a very good activity going towards the Shreyas, of course. Because what is Shreyas? Shreyas come from the root Shrey. Shrey means auspiciousness, not money. Money is one part of it. Auspiciousness. Shreyate. Ashrayam. Ashrayam means dependence, on which you can depend. Hitam, goodness. So praise is sukham, Shreyas is goodness. Sukham, goodness. Sukham, hitam. Laddu is sukham. Kashayam is hitam. Laddu is interesting to eat, ends in trouble. Kashayam is difficult to drink, ends in healthiness. Shreyas, prayas. You see the difference So in ordinary meaning, anything that makes you happy physically, grossly, and subtly also is prayers. Anything that may make you happy or may not make you happy, doesn't matter, but offers you, bestows goodness in you, that is Shreyas. So we all want to be Shrimans, Shrimatis. It is not with it's a Lakshmi Kadakshan. Lakshmi Kadakshan means, we place poor Lakshmi as just a treasurer, just giving you money. Yeah. If money is of impermanence and value, why do I need a goddess who's responsible for that? Why is she giving perishable stuff? She is Shri Vidya. She is goodness, Shreyas. You think, you go and ask. Mahalakshmi doesn't give you money. You go and ask Mahalakshmi money because you think Mahalakshmi means she's a money bearer. Saraswati means knowledge bearer. She is Saraswati Swami in the temple, will be in a corner with a white sari, and not many people go there except Saraswati Puja. Mahalakshmi, you will see crowd because Aishwarya Lakshmi is going to give you Aishwarya. She is suffocating herself. I am giving Shreays. Look at what these people are asking for. And because you surrender, I'll give it to you. Your prarabdha karma, I'll give it to you. She reluctantly gives you that one. But there's no difference. Shrey and Shri means Vidya. But even when you come to a Vedanta class and when you listen to this Vedanta lectures, and if you say, I want to find the meaning of it, I want to challenge him, I want to get this. So when you get this intellectual happiness, you gain the knowledge, you gain some glory, you have a bragging right, because I know Upanishads now. I can learn from this, but I can do it much better than my teacher. So all that when you do is praise. See, you're dealing with the spiritual knowledge. But you see, it's a praise because you are using the Shreyas Margam to attain a praise because your gratification is a goal. My ego has to be gratified. You see the difference? What is praise? What is Shrey? So the best way to inculcate this is that every time you have a desire, think about it. I'm not saying you should not desire for it, because I'm going to say you must desire. Have desire, have a Kumbakonam coffee. But imagine now you are in the late in your lifetime, you still go back nostalgic about my young days, and you think about it in the morning WhatsApp, to evening WhatsApp, to night WhatsApp, to all this whole thing, nostalgic one, you indulge on it, it becomes your vasanas. Vasanas means what? That means they are your intense, your gravitational pull, your jet fuel, where you want to take the next embodiment. I like, if I'm a non-vegetarian, if I say I like a chicken biryani or mutton biryani, meat all the time, I relish it. I don't mind relishing it. If I am keeping a desire on it all the time in my heart, when I die, I am going to be a tiger or a wolf which enjoys meat. Pashum. So we have very little time in our lifespan to convert our yearning into the currency that we need to take it forward. So the vasanas are very bad. Vasanas come from the prayers. So you must go. There is a time comes in where you transit from the prayers to Shreyas. So that requires a discrimination. Why kashayam is good? No mother teaches a child that when you take a kashayam or the medicine, this child doesn't understand, irrational. So they put a honey, it's sweetened. Honey is the lowest harming sweetener you can use. So put that in there. Child eats it. As a prayer, she eats it because she doesn't know it's a medicine. But imagine if you can actually inculcate the child. You can have sugar, but you see, this is going to make you stronger. And you understand, you grow for the thing that makes you better. And we are impatient parents, we are. Because our parents did not teach us all these things. And we consider the child as a little being, right? It's like a toy. We underestimate the children's power of understanding because we are wrong, because small means small in power. No, as small is full of knowledge. Her neural network works much faster than us. That's why it grows. It grabs everything else. It discriminates everything else. It registers in the brain. Neurons work. Everything changes. So bringing children, youngsters to the satsang and talking to them, listening to them, giving them meaningful questions, very important. Shreays has to come from the young age. So you understand now, Preyas, Shreays. If you want to define another way, Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama. Kama is Shukam. There are two kinds of Shukams. Shukam that I want now, Sukam, called Kama. And Sukam that is always in me, that is Moksha. I don't know about that Moksha. I only want the Sukam now. Okay. What do I have to do? You need some means, Artha. If you want, if I'm hungry, I need a dosa or bread. I just gulp it. I don't care expiry date. Hungry. First bread is finished, second bread is finished. My hunger has been quelled. Third bread comes in. I look at it and say, hey, can you toast it? Put some butter on it. Put some jam on it. Because I can't eat it like a cardboard. Oh, but you had two now. Well, hunger. So that which satisfied you for a bad necessity is artha, porul, vittam, what you need. And the Vedas gives you sanction. You can go and earn that because even Parama Acharya, when he's very hungry, he can eat uchishtam. Somebody's actually can eat. And there is even an incident in one of the Upanishad. He eats it and then he takes a soiled food from somebody's hand, charioteer's hand, and then he got hiccups. And the charioteer gives his water, and the priest says, "No, I won't drink this water. It is soiled. You already tasted it. I can't taste it." And he said to you, "You had my food," and he said, "I was about to die. I took it." So there are exceptions to rules for the arthas. The artha vasana is very important. But when I ask for the jam or a masala dosa or the Kumbhakonam coffee with I am not asking for my survivance, but I'm asking for my taste. Preyas. Is it wrong? Not at all. Enjoy it. But find a time that you shy away from this someday because all this will go away because all this is accumulated for your prayers. It is not going to last forever. So in the Dharmartha Kama, 3 you can say prayers. Moksha is Shreays. So if I am looking for Shreays means I'm looking for moksha. What is moksha? Moksha is a root that means liberate, free. So moksha means to be free. Mukti means from free. Free means what? Free means, is it somebody is tying you up? And I am a free man. My wife cannot ask me where I go in the morning, come back. Nobody questions me. My boss doesn't ask me. Like I am entrepreneur. I am the boss of everything. So what is that? I don't need moksha, I think, right? The moksha is getting out of this bondage of the prayers. That I must have an ability to discard my urges because they are not necessary for my progress. If you have that freedom, that means you are mukta. Is it not going somewhere? Is it not mukti means birth and deathlessness? Is not samsara means this family life? All that is correct in a Vachyartham. Is Rama a mukta or not? Is Krishna a Mukta or not? 16,001 wife for Krishna. Who else could enjoy life than him? Was he a samsari or a Mukta? Don't think renunciated life is moksha. Renunciate is a process of getting moksha. So was the grahastha life. I renunciate, I take Kavi Vastras, I go and live in Varnashri, create an ashram, I contemplate for 2 years, get a lot of Veda Vidya from acharyas. I do discourses now. Uh, People come from all over the world. I create a bigger ashram, 200 beds ashram. AC is now put in there. I am in all the social media. I'm a reverend guru. I like to have 6 branches of my ashram. I am in the Preyas. You see the very fine path. So Shreays is that which doesn't matter which lifestyle you choose. You can be a butcher. If that is your lifestyle been given to you, you have no other choice but to slaughter animals to feed others. Do that. But with work as a worship, Shreyas. Now, you can say, look, I come to this class, Sunday morning is a beautiful time. I go to play golf, I can go to the pub, I can do whatever thing. I'm coming here. Raja, you're telling me I'm not following Shreyas? No, you are doing it. I am doing it. After this class is over, I'm going to have a dinner, I'm going to do some gardening, attend to some social meetings, prepare my next day's work. You do the same thing. So what am I doing? What are we doing? We ride these multiple horses. One horse says this side, prays this side. Can I not do that? This is practical in life. Please be practical, you know. You don't wait for those kind of days, you know. Those days they have nothing to do, they can do that. These days I'm busy, but I am allocate time for my Shreya's activity. You're going to see, Yama is going to say, you just cannot do that way because these two are completely divergent paths. Your good intention of doing good things under the prayers or only intentions only, it can never translate into Nishrayas. Nishrayas is a beautiful word Bhagavan uses in Gita. This is the fullness embodied. At some stage, you have to move a lifestyle or the way that you conduct your life within your chosen lifestyle to a marga which is full of shreyas. That means the marga that you take with prayers is called pravritti marga. Again, pravritti means growth. So you have to move from the pravritti marga to nivritti marga. Bhagavan Shankara's famous word, he uses very many times. You have to switch to nivritti marga. What is the difference between pravritti and nivritti? Vritti means expansion, growth. Chitta vritti means thoughts keep coming. So pravritti means more and more thoughts coming. Nivritti means nothing coming. That means you suppress. I shouldn't say suppress. You cannot suppress thoughts. You know, sometimes people take this kind of a goal. Hey, you sit down in a quiet place, put a light there, and keep looking at the light, and do some Ramanama, Krishnanama, and keep looking at it intensely. And you see your mind will be focused. You get glaucoma very fast. Your optical nerve may get intensified. You cannot suppress the thoughts. You cannot control the mind, full stop. You cannot control the mind. Even if you do all the exercises and you find that I had a controlling feeling, yes, you had a controlling feeling, that feeling also the mind is giving you. Why can't I control the mind? Because you have nothing to do with that. I have the responsibility of controlling it if I own it. Why should I control uh, a boy who is throwing stones at the doors outside? May I have some social concern? I can say, please don't do it. But if he's stubborn doing it, I have very little interest in following it up because it doesn't belong to me. His mind not belong to me. It is there for me to use, but I am different from the mind. So, but everywhere you say control the mind. Chitta vritti yoga, chitta vritti nirodha. Nirod means to stop. That's what generally we translate Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, Bhashyas. First verse is yoga, chitta vritti nirodha. I think you remember we saw it in the Patanjali class. Nirodham is not stopping, regulating, controlling it. So how do I, therefore, if I cannot control the mind, how do I make it a tool for me? It is, mind is like a beautiful young lady, young girl. You know, when in a prime youth and a beautiful girl is there, and uh, and if you are a person, you know, this is a man, you can even be a woman. You look at that girl fondly, of course, with good thoughts, she will be shy. Because the good qualities of a beautiful young girl is to have that kind of a very enchanting fearfulness and shyness. Though I'm not saying that they are weak. The natural tenderness of femininity is that when somebody observes them, they feel shy. Mind is like that. Mind is a beautiful young girl. That's why she all the time skips around, asks for so much of jewelry to wear, to fancy thing, fickle-minded. But she, when she looks at her, she's shy and timid and be quiet. For controlling mind is not by egagram through this kind of a forceful means, but the ability to look at the mind. So how do I look at the mind? That's what you have to learn. To look at the mind means what? It's not an object I can see. But you do see the mind. Sometimes, see, this is what it is. You know, nothing is unusual knowledge. It's all there. Now, sometimes you are in a discussion and maybe a complex subject, and suddenly I give an example and say, "Do you see the point?" And you say, I see the point. So you are able to somehow detach your thought of ignorance, suspicion, samshayam, as with the consciousness being, you being an awareness. You are aware of you not knowing it, as well as aware of knowing it. The knowing and unknowing is the concept of the mind. The higher form of mind is buddhi. Buddhi knows, not knows it. Feels, not feeling, in the lower form of the mind. Feeling is the lower form, knowing is the upper form, but it's all a mind. But the awareness knows whether you know it or not. Something to contemplate for you later. So you can say, I know this. I know I don't know this. Okay, this comes to you as a thought in the mind. Awareness always comes as a thought to you so that you can figure it out. But awareness exists. Awareness exists. Para, Pachyenti, Madhyama, Vaikari. In Lalita Sahasranama, we say that, right? Your awareness is in the four forms. Para, in the Mooladharam. Pachyenti, in your nabi, Madhyama, in your throat. Vaikari, it comes as a words and thoughts. So the awareness is a gut feeling is always there in you. So you are able to see the mind. So you have many ways. I will not go in detail into that. Let me just most of the time. Okay. So I'll finish in 5 minutes. What was I saying? So the importance of Preyas and Shreays. So we are going to see, maybe in the next class we take some more. You have to be very clear in your mind. Preyas is your natural tendency, propelled by your senses to enjoy. Bhoktvam is a driver. Sukham is a driver. Absolutely fine to have the drive. But the driver's seat should be your intellect, your buddhi. Because otherwise, the sukham can go to intoxicating. Why can't I so go and have a pub and have a, or some alcohol and say, no, I will not do it because that is illicit to drink it. Not right to do it. So you have discrimination already. But discrimination can go more and more. That's why Vivekam comes in. I will slice this praise. Okay, if you are having desire to have good time on Sunday morning in the golf course, yes, you can do it, but can you allocate some mornings on satsang? So you are moving the praise, the fine cut. Well, in satsang, I'm listening to this and singing the song, but mind doesn't rest on all this except this particular question. Okay, stick on what is that. You slice it through. Well, I'm doing it to learn so that I can write a thesis. Fine, that's prayers. But theses are no use because jnana must become vijnanam. You'll see, vijnanam is to apply that knowledge. That's why Vedantam, it's not like, when you do the Navasankirtanam, Yajnam, Yuganta Vaikunta Vasam, yes, you may get it. So there you have to wait. You wait with the fearlessness because you don't know all the punyams. So when I die, I'm not worried because I'm going to be in the Paramatma's feet or I'm going to be in a Swargaloka. That is itself is very good. But it's still unknown. I can still have my distaste and hatred in this world. Because this world is, I'm still living as cruel. So I need to move away from this. But Vedantam takes other way. Forget about all those going abroad, going away, and Vaikuntham, so all that. If it comes, so be it. Where I am right now, I want to be free. I want to be mukta hai. I want to be Jivan mukta hai. Free from all those burdens of life, but still run this life. Like I play Monopoly with my children. Children cry, they lose the money. I laugh, I lose money. So I'm playing this game. A monopoly as a multipoly in this world. So I am a mukta hai. And to do that, I must bring transformation in me. So Point I'm saying that what you don't see in many of those Laukika prayatnams to get transformations, in the Vedanta you get transformation. You will see. I mean, if you, in a heart of heart, if you think through, I've been in the Vedanta sessions for 2 years, 3 years, I see a change in my approach in life. If you say that, and if you vouch for that, and if you can demonstrate that, you are progressing. I feel peaceful now. Before that, no, if somebody looks at me as a little bit impoverished look I have, I feel hurt. Now I don't feel hurt. Before, if somebody drives a Mercedes Benz, I'm driving a Toyota, I get envy. Now I don't get envy because I've told what it is. But this is not coming because of some sort of a rationalization that I cannot afford to have the Mercedes, therefore I'm content, is happy. That's fine. But that's a suppressed desire. No, I can buy a work, I can buy those, I can spend, I can lavishly do that. What's the point? If I have that, that means I am having a transformation in me. That transformation comes to me because I am choosing to go towards Shreyas. So I will stop it here. So we will have a next session to a little bit more on the context. And then we jump into the thing. I am mindful of KK's comment, so I don't want to put too many slogas into this. But I will pace it so that you get the good understanding. I think padarthams, of course, we can do a lot of padartham, but I think for me, the more important thing is that you're able to capture into small pockets of implementable knowledge. That as soon as the class is finished, you can use it, you can apply it, you can do. That's the idea we take it. So take the Shanti part of it. Om Shakana Bhavatu.
Om Sakana Bhavatu.
Shakanau Punaktu.
Sakano
Punaktu.
Shakaviryam Karavavakai.
Saveryam Karvavakai.
Tejasvina Madidavastu.
Tejasvina
Namastu.
Ma Vitpishavahai.
Mahavishavahe.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti
Shanti
Shanti Shanti.
Harihi
Shanti.
Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ajay. Shri Krishna.
We will see the next class same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.